Hi, today we're going to learn about integers and absolute value. If you have not already opened up this document, go ahead and do so and follow along with me on your own copy. Make sure you're writing down everything that I'm writing down. All right, so we're going to start off by looking at the top where we have a set of directions right in this area. So in case you are not familiar with integers, integers can be written as numbers such as -3, -2, -1, blah, 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 and we go on forever in either direction. And that ... it means indefinitely. So the integers can also be compared using an inequality, which is a mathematical sentence when you're using either the less than or the greater than symbol. We have an example here given to us. It says to use the integers graphed on the number line below for each question, and you're going to basically put in the correct inequality symbol there. So for example, this first one, part A, you're comparing -6 with -2. -2, it says, is greater since it lies to the right of -6. And another way we could say that is that -6 is less than -2. So when you're looking on that number line, numbers that are further to the left are going to be smaller. And actually, looking at this number line, I see that there is a typo. So right here, this should be a -1, a -2. These are negatives. That little 2 right there should not be there. Those should all be negative signs. So please go ahead and make those corrections on your paper as well. And then B, you're comparing 3 with -4. 3 is further to the right, so it would be the larger number. Therefore, we say 3 is greater than -4. So we would have that greater than symbol. The other thing that we have is we talk about absolute value. It says numbers on opposite sides, I'm right here in this area, numbers on opposite sides of 0 and the same distance from 0 have the same absolute value. And then we have this absolute value symbol. Right here, this is saying the absolute value of 2 is 2, meaning 2 is 2 units from 0. So if I was looking on this number line, here's 2 and here's 0. To get from 2 to 0, it would take me 1, 2 hops. So the absolute value of 2 is 2. Or also, this is saying the absolute value of -2 is 2. Again, here's -2 on my number line. If I went from -2 to 0, it would take me 1, 2 hops or spaces. So the absolute value is the same. In the next example, you're evaluating each expression, it says. So they're talking about the absolute value of -4. Well, -4 is 4 units, hops, skips, or however you're going to describe it from 0. So the absolute value of -4 is 4. In part B, you've got a mathematical equation, if you will. You've got to compute the absolute value of -3 plus the absolute value of 6. So first we do the absolute value of -3, which is 3, and then we do the absolute value of 6, which is 6. So really we're just computing 3 plus 6. So our final answer here would be 9. Okay, we're going to try a few examples. I'm going to do a few examples down here with you. So let's look at this next section. It says to replace that shaded gray circle with the less than, greater than, or equal to make a true sentence. And let's go ahead and make a note. This is the less than symbol. And this one is the greater than symbol. Okay, so we know which one is which. So let's look at number 1. We're comparing 4 with -4. So if you go back to that number line, there we go. 4 is the number that is further to the right. So 4 would be greater than -4. So I need that greater than symbol. Number 2, we're comparing 8 with 12. 8 is not further to the right. 12 would be further to the right. So we say 12 is the greater than, so that means 8 is less than 12. So I want my less than symbol right there. And then number 3, we're comparing -7 with -5. Well, -5 is going to be further to the right. or closer to 0 in this case, than negative 7. So negative 5 is the larger number, meaning negative 7. If I'm going to fill in the blank, I would say negative 7 is less than, not negative 7 is greater than. So if I'm going to say negative 7 is less than negative 5, the less than symbol needs to be written there. So there's my less than symbol. All right, 4, we're comparing 2 and 5. And we know that 5 is the larger number, 2 is the smaller number. So if I was going to think of that gray circle as a fill in the blank, if I'm going to fill in that blank, I would say 2 is less than 5. Therefore, I need to write my less than symbol. All right, what I'd like for you to do right now is pause this video, and then I want you to complete problems 5 through 12. So go ahead, pause the video, and complete problems 5 through 12. Okay, welcome back. Now you should have completed 5 through 12 on your own. So now you are checking over your answers for 5 through 12. So as you might need to pause the video so that you can double check your answers. Hopefully you got them correct. If you did not, or if you made a mistake, please go back and correct those problems now. All right, we're going to go to the next section. This section, the directions say to evaluate each expression. And as you look, there's a bunch of problems with absolute value bars. So I'm going to complete a few of these. So let's look at number 13. Let's start there. Number 13 says the absolute value of negative 6. So that literally means how far is negative 6 from 0? And that would be 6. Negative 6 is 6 units from 0. Look at number 14. We're asked to find the absolute value of 15. That literally means the distance, how many units or hop skips is 15 from 0. And it would be 15 units. The answer here is not going to be negative 15. Absolute value of a number will not ever be negative. All right, skip over to number 18. I want to look at that one. So for number 18, we're asked to find the absolute value of negative 8 plus the absolute value of negative 3. Before we complete this problem, before we find that sum, first we need to find the absolute value of each of those individual numbers. So if I was going to find the absolute value of negative 8, that means how many units is negative 8 from 0? So that would be 8. I'm going to bring that plus sign down. And then I'm going to find the absolute value of negative 3. Negative 3 is 3 units from 0. So I'm going to write a 3. So really, this is just asking me to find the sum of 8 and 3. And that sum would be 11. So the answer here is 11. All right, I want you to take a minute. I want you to pause this video. And then I want you to complete problems 15, 16, 17, 19, and 20. I want you to complete those on your own. And then when you're finished completing them on your own, come back to this video to check your answers. Okay, welcome back. So now you're back. You should be checking the solutions to problems 15, 16, 17, 19, and 20. Hopefully you got those correct. If you did not get those correct, then go back and correct them now. And then once you submit this assignment, then you will be ready to go through and complete the independent practice. Once you've completed the independent practice, then you'll move on to mastery check number 1. All right, good luck.